Good morning, and how I want to say good morning to you now, I have to read it. Okay. Chao buo sang. Chao buo sang. Come on. You've never been in Hanoi in Vietnam? I thought you were world travelers, that you would know Vietnamese dialect. That's how they say good morning. You know, some of the ones here, someone sent me a list of all kinds of good mornings, Romanian, Russian. Some of them are so long. I'm thankful I'm American where I could say, what's up? Morning, good morning. How are you today? All is well? Emmanuel, God is with us. Mark 9:35 is where we're at. Where we've just read is this. Let's lead up to it from 33. They came to Capernaum. When he was in the house, he asked them, "What were you arguing about on the way?" But they were silent because on the way they had been arguing with one another about who was the greatest. Sitting down, he called the 12 and he said to them, "If anyone wants to be first, he must be the last. He must be last and servant of all." Okay, we covered that last time. Once again, we're reminded of the human desire to be the greatest, stand above others, be noted, be remembered, be impressive. And there are many ways that the world teaches us to be great. Achievements, education, gathering of wealth, so we can lord it over others. And Jesus said, no, my kingdom is just the opposite of what you do on earth. And we gave the illustration of a restaurant and the server coming and the guy buying a big, expensive French meal for he and his wife. I once had a French meal. I took my mother-in-law out we were just married. So I got a hold of some money and I took my mother-in-law out and my wife. I was trying to impress my mother-in-law. She liked French food. I had never been to an upscale French restaurant, but someone knew someone. I forgot how I was able to get in there, but it was some heavy-duty money. The portions were so small. All due respect to all French people out there. Food was exquisite, except I barely could taste it. 2 potatoes, okay? A piece of beef like this, okay? A salad which looked like, in 2 forkfuls, I was done. When that meal was over, I had a huge bill and I was starving. Thank God for Polish restaurants. It might not be fine cuisine, but they're throwing that stuff at you. Yeah, that's right. I know you're looking down at me. Oh, you have peasant taste. So be it, but at least my belly's full. So the waiter is the greater, because he's serving. And the person who's getting the service is not as great. See, it's just the opposite. My ways are not your ways, God said. He took a child, had him stand among them, and taking him in his arms, he said to them. He took a child, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, we don't know the age, but it was a young child. He took a child and had him, a boy, stand among them. So he put him in the middle of the disciples. And taking him in his arms, he then embraced him. The Greek there means he hugged him to his heart, the way we would hug someone. My grandson, he and his wife gave birth to a little boy named Theo. He's the cutest baby. He looks like the Gerber baby. Every time I'm with him, I just have to hug him. But he's round and he's fat. He's like a piece of putty. His body looks like an O. His face looks like an O. His eyes are round. So I call him Bobo, emphasizing the O. But oh, how I love to hug him. Jesus did that with this little child and said to them, as an example, whoever welcomes one little child such as this in my name welcomes me. But here's there's a double thought here. From what he said before about who's the greatest, he holds a little child. Remember where he said, except you become like a little child, you can't enter the kingdom of heaven? So as he held this child, a child is a great example of not wanting to be great. You never ever saw a 4-year-old, 5-year-old say to the other one, yeah, my father works on Wall Street, and your dad, he just delivers meat. He works in a butcher. My father's better than your father. I'm superior. No, the kids they play. You won't find racism in a sandbox either. We have to teach those wicked things to our children. Children, we put them in there. No one goes, where are you from? What do you mean you're from Bangladesh? Where is that? You never saw anyone say that, 3, 4 years old. They're just, now look, here's what the Lord wants us to be. Not childish, but childlike. To be childish, the Bible condemns. To be silly, not thoughtful, immature. Don't be childish, but be childlike. You know, I counseled someone recently, and because they're real smart, their brain is working overtime, and they're getting confused about what the will of God is, and should I do this and not do that? And if you think long enough, you know, the circuits will break in your head. Better to be childlike and say to the Lord, God, I want to do your will. So lead me and guide me, and I'm going to trust you. Could you hold my hand and just take me? That's baby stuff. Yeah, but that's spiritual life. To be a child and rely on our Father. So he said, you all are arguing who's the greatest. Why don't you become like a child? Be childlike, not childish. Not changa. You know what changa is? Changa is a Spanish Puerto Rican word for a kid that is just all over the place and acting crazy and disobedient and hyper. Don't be changa, but be childlike. Simple, trusting. Where he leads me, I'll follow. Why? Because I love him and I trust him. I know, but where did Cain get his wife? And what's the meaning of the third horse? And I'm not sure of that, but I love my Jesus. I'm going to walk with him today. Let's do it. See you next time.